Alright then. CP Steel. This is a hard map. It's probably the most difficult map for Medic to learn. Mainly because the map itself is so complicated that there's a lot to know, and there's a lot to do, and there's a lot of places to be, and if you get either one of them wrong, then, you just lose the game. It's a hard map. I like the map, but it's really hard. So, thankfully, I know how to play on it. So, yeah, we're gonna learn some hard maps today. Alright then. Let's start off with defense, because I think that's pretty much the most important thing, is getting a good time on steel. So, we'll start off rather simply. So, you go here into B. You never go A. As a medic, you'll never ever touch A single time in your life. If you are, what the hell is wrong with you and your team? but but you'll never touch A. You'll never be on A. Especially on defense, you'll never be on A. Why would you go to A? So you're in B here. When you roll out, you're gonna start with crit stickies. This door should be closed or something. So you'll set up stickies with your demo here, over here, and maybe over here if your demo wants to. And then you go with your scout, you run all the way over, get back Uber, come back, and then get your Uber and stuff. So how do you play this B point? Well, first of all, the other team's going to be capping A. So in that time frame, all you're really doing is you're positioning here. Your dispenser should be somewhere here, or even where you're supposed to be. But usually there with your pyro, which he should be standing. And all you're doing is you're interchanging with your pyro and your demo, who should also be here, and maybe your scout and sniper. And you just go here, buff everyone else, and then you come back and then you buff your players on flank, which should be your soldier and your heavy up on this porch area. So yeah, that's basically what you're doing. You're just coming here, buffing all your players here, and then coming here, buffing all your players here, and then repeat. And then maybe your NG here. And you just repeat that until A comes. Or, like, when A is captured. Medic! When B happens, a lot of different things could be happening that could threaten your life. And also threaten the game as well. There are two things that can happen on this point. One is that they push in B, or they push A to E. How do you know when each thing's gonna happen? Don't worry. Your team's gonna show you, or your team's gonna tell you. Your team's gonna tell you. The most common one that happens is the enemy team pushes this B point here and tries to get up in porch. Now, it's important that you still, you know, buff your players here, because they could push through here, they could push through here if they really want to, but their main priority is to get this spot up here. So, you're gonna have to divert most of your attention to heal your heavy and your soldier and make sure that they don't die off of an incoming push. They might, you're just trying to prevent that as best you can. And yeah, that's pretty much it there. You can heal your NG, of course, heal these people, and then of course do that. You just keep doing what you're doing, except now you have the threat of spy, because now they can go all the way around the map and just watch you like a hawk. Usually spies like to sit here and just watch you from this angle here. They can also watch here. Sometimes they can be a bit cheeky and try and decloak there, but I haven't really seen that. But most of the time they're just watching you. Just make sure to watch out for any spies, just in case. They shouldn't be decloaking. They can also decloak like over here or down here and drop down. There should be a door opening up here and drop down, or like somewhere here. But yeah, just watch out for spies. It's really important. Especially on this very complicated map, you can just come out when you least expect. But anyways, they're trying to push up here, blah blah blah. Buff your players here, buff your players there. Uber exchange, usually it's just once they get this spot, or like when they do, they're probably gonna just exchange out here and try and force you. That's usually what happens. When the enemy team does take Porch here, you're gonna have to want to back up, because then the sniper has the opportunity to peek here. Or peek there as you're running away. So, when that happens, you're gonna have to position yourself here, and then once the sniper comes out and positions himself here, you're gonna have to want to back up into here and heal your team that way. But most of the time it's here. You'll have your players in your regular vicinity, just over here trying to get them out of the space that they've already gained. They should be here. You should have your players here. Again, watch out for spies. They can decloak here, outside of this wishbone area. They can decloak in your spawn. They can decloak up here. They can decloak in here. They can decloak back there. They can decloak over here. They can sometimes even want to decloak over here. They can decloak anywhere. So watch out for spies as you're doing all your stuff over here. And make sure to keep your team alive, as you should. Oh yeah, I haven't talked about A to E yet. So that's basically, this hold. Oh, and also, watch out drop down. Your team should be watching this, so it's never all on you. But just watch out for the opportunity that a sniper could just drop down and shoot you in the head. It should be your team's job to look out for that, but if they don't, then that sucks. You can try and get in your dispenser and then just tank whatever happens, but yeah, that's also there. A to E, it can happen, and when it does, your team has to be ready for it. So you take most of your team, and by that everyone except for like Heavy, Soldier. I don't recall who stays, but all I know is that you don't get to stay there, and you gotta help your team. Your positioning's right here, and you're just tanking your team. Don't position yourself here. Don't ever. I'm gonna try and make it so that you can see it. This is a sniper sight line. You see this little pixel spot there? This is a sight line. I don't like it. I don't know why this is a sight line, but it is. Even when you're here, even when you can't see it, he can see you. It's so stupid. I got hit by it once, and I realized I can never peek again. So, yeah, you're positioning here the entire time. It's a little disconnected. You can try and, like, hug this wall here and try to heal your players. But, yeah, your team's job is to just get them out here, and your job is just to heal them as much as possible. Watch out for spies. Yeah, spies can decloak here. Spy can decloak in your spawn. Spy can just walk up and then just decloak here and kill you. Decloak here. They can decloak anywhere behind you. So just watch out for spies. They can also try and do a funny and decloak in wishbone. That can happen sometimes too. But your main priority is just to heal your teammates as they deal with the situation. Back to this point here on B. When you're here and you realize, oh, your team's like losing this point and you're about to give it up, there are two options that you can do to leave, and it all depends on one thing. Is your team like dead? Are they all dead? So if your team's not all dead, your immediate job is to get ready for the next point and take as much space as possible, and that's to go into wishbone with your team. This is where you're supposed to be. If not, and then your team is dead, just go into spawn. There's no reason risking your life. Just go into spawn. I wish I could open the shutter door, but I can't. But yeah, just go into spawn. Once the point caps, it'll take you immediately to the next point. So yeah, that's B. C point. Okay, there are two ways to to defend C point. One is the passive way, and the other is, like I said before, the one where you get in Wishbone, which you can do at any point. I'll talk about the least common one first, which is just to sit right here and heal your team as they're up in this porch place over here. Make sure to heal your heavy or anyone here that's on the balcony here on porch while your team's on point. Just watch out for sight lines, and again, watch for spies. They can decloak, I think, somewhere here. I believe there's a way to get up here. Is there a way to get up here? No, there indeed isn't a way to get up here. Never mind. Yeah, just forget I said anything. I guess, actually, no. Spy can just go around your entire team and try and backstab you. So yeah, watch for spies. They can decloak here. They can decloak there. They can decloak in Death Corridor here. They can decloak here. They can decloak here. They can decloak here. They can decloak anywhere. Just watch out for spies when you're here, of course. And yeah, your main job is just to heal players here. You're probably gonna get steamrolled, so you're gonna have to probably back up into spawn if that happens, if you're in this position, because they just gain so much space. You'll probably just have to go into spawn, and then that's pretty much it. Let me actually go into red so I can access these spawns really quickly. But yeah, that's pretty much for this point. You're not really doing much. You're just, yeah. But if you somehow get yourself out of this situation, and find your way to gain space, you can actually go and set up into Wishbone, which is the next hold. If you're ever in a position where you go and you're in that position that I showed you before, and you kill everyone, and you want to hold really quickly, there's a pixel jump. You can jump on this pixel, and it's really nice. It doesn't make you waste time by going all the way around here and then getting here. You can just immediately jump on this pixel. When you're in Wishbone, you position yourself in two ways, either here or here. This one I like more because it just gives you more vision of your combo. When you're here, take your hand off your keyboard. That's right, don't press W, A, S, or D. Don't do your little funny AD thing. You'll immediately peek the sight line, and that's not good. Just take your hand off the keyboard. Or, like, keep your hands near the keyboard, but take your hands off of it, and just sit here. The combo should be here, and your heavy should be behind you here, which you can immediately go and just beam here. Spy can be a danger, of course, in this little area. They can just look here, just anywhere here, or maybe even here if your heavy's not here, or maybe like come here, jump down, and then immediately try and get you. It can happen. It can happen. So just watch out for spies even when you're here in this corridor. Uber exchanges can come through here. Some Uber exchanges can come out here, which your heavy should be watching. You can immediately counteract that. And of course also watch down here for any demos that want to try and kill you, but they shouldn't be here. But yeah, you're just standing here waiting for something to happen. That's pretty much it. When you get overrun, you have to make the long journey all the way back into spawn, and it sucks, but it's needed. Now when you're in this position, for D and E, there is one thing that I can tell you that you should do if your demo is dead and you're in C. And that's just to help your people on Heaven, in E, because they can sometimes, they will be here on C, just setting up on E, waiting for anyone trying to cap and whatnot. So, if your demo's dead and your combo's dead and you don't know what to do, just come here and just buff your players in this nice safe sight line. Nothing really hurts you here, so you can just immediately come and then go back in and then come back with your team, and that's pretty much it. When you're on this D point, you're basically holding both D and E. So there are two places that you need to watch out for. One is through Wishbone, and the other is through White Room in here. So yeah, you're basically watching out for both. Your positioning should be one half here, one half here. So you're supposed to position yourself here, get yourself positioned, watch out for players here, watch out sniper sightline as well, watch out for spies too as well. Through here and through here, and they can even jump down through here, they can go through heaven, they can go here, anywhere possible. Up there, jump here, that's pretty much it. Watch out for spies, it's really important. Most Uber exchanges will come through here, through this white room. If you ever find yourself in an exchange and you feel like you're winning that exchange, you can tell your team that, and they can just immediately blitz through white room and then maybe even get a hold up in there. But I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You're just babysitting as your team gets people out. Your team dies and D gets taken over. You're basically doing Hail Marys now. You basically lost the game because you can't go through these doors anymore. So you're basically gonna have to do the Hail Mary of walking with your team with maybe quick fix or crits or something, and then jumping up here, and then healing your team and positioning yourself here. Watch out for spies here, watch out for spies behind you, that sort of ordeal, and you're just trying to pressure up here. If you somehow do win this, that's fucking amazing. You get to waste more of their time, and you get to basically do your wishbone hold that you were doing once before. But yeah, usually you're gonna lose this anyways, and when you do, that'll basically be it for defense. Alright, now offense.
Hey Doc, calling. Got a live one for you.
Offense, you need to be very, very careful of your own life, like on any map, but on this map specifically, you're gonna get killed with a lot of stuff if you're not careful. So you buff your teammates, and most of your team goes into here to cap A. The only players that don't are your engine and your sniper, which you want to keep buff because your sniper's trying to win the SVS in here. Just keep yourself positioned inside of your spawn so that you don't get hit with anything stupid. So yeah, that's pretty much it for A point. When they come back, I'll talk about A to E for us later, but I'll just talk about going through each point, and then we'll go to A to E after. When your team's going to push B, you have two options. One is to stay in your spawn and be safe, or B, or two is to help your team get into here, which you can do. It all depends on how safe you want to be. Because crit stickies could be here, and if your team doesn't get that, then that's a fucking oh well sort of deal. That's sadly how I lost semifinals in Maine last season, and I don't like talking about it, but it sucked because my team didn't clear out all the stickies, and there was one crit sticky which I immediately came in here and they did it, and then we lost the official, but that's not the point. Point is just be careful. Make sure your team gets all the stickies out, and once they do, then you can come out and do what you want. So yeah, if you're playing passive, just stay here until they tell you, and if you just position yourself in here and just heal your players as they go up here. You don't want to peek because there's so much spam. You want to be like here And then once they walk back, then you can peek, because then that means the sort of fight is over. You can sometimes position yourself here until your team is ready to Uber. And when your team is ready to Uber, you just come in here and you use Uber and then get them all out. And of course, if you lose the exchange, you just go back here to where you were before. Or maybe even out here back into spawn, just in case they do try and pressure you. But yeah, or if you win the ordeal, you go up here and you buff all your players, and then you position yourself here as to not get hit by these sniper sight lines, and also to have better view with spy. And your team's just there capping the point. Okay, C. When you're in C, your positioning is here most of the time, because sometimes, like I said before, they will be in wishbone, and you're waiting for your team to do something, so you're just gonna be here watching for spies and watching for sniper sight lines. Ugh. Anyways, and watching out for sniper sight lines, and when you get Uber, you just exchange through here and try and get them out. Sometimes you can be sneaky and go through C door and try and get something. But that usually doesn't happen. You can try like Ubering your heavy in. That sometimes works, but I haven't really seen it happen that much. If you do clear wishbone, you can try and dry push out once you do. But sometimes if they're not holding wishbone and you immediately get here, you can immediately use on your demo, and he just sticky jumps and sacks in, and everyone else pushes out and gets the point here. I haven't seen it happen at the levels that I'm at right now, but it does happen in invite with certain teams. Of course, also be careful of this spot here for demo. That can sometimes happen, but it's okay. Just watch out here. And yeah. And as you're capping the point, you want to be in a safe little spot. So you can be here if you want to, but it's best to be here so that you can heal your demo as he's tracking the spawn door, and also here to help your heavy as he takes over balcony for your team, just to watch out for spies and such. So like being there is helpful because you get to beam and then extend your beam range, and then also arrow as well, you're heavy. And that's it for C. But sometimes of course you can be here. D, you got two options, or technically three. You can, the most uncommon one is to just rush Death Corridor. If no one's watching it. Jeez, am I having a stroke? No, I'm fine. If no one's watching this Death Corridor, you can immediately just bomb rush it and cab and kill people in heaven if no one's watching it. But if someone is watching it, then that's not your best spot to be. Your other option, which I don't think is the best one, but it's still there, is through wishbone. You position yourself here and your team just peeks out, tries getting sentry and stuff, and then tries getting on the point. But there's not that much space here. It can work, but there's just little to no space here for anyone to get. Of course, watch out for spies as usual, but the main spot to do, like the main thing you're supposed to do, is you go all the way around and you go into White Room through A. So I'll just go here, immediately come out because this door's closed. So when you get to A, you're just tanking your team as they take spam, because there could be people watching White Room. And once they take it, you set up an Uber push. You're just positioned here, because your sniper will be watching here, and everyone else is ready to make a push here. And immediately you just Uber through here and get people out of here, and then just cap immediately. If that momentum continues, you then can go and cap E. There should be little doors opening up here, so you can just immediately position yourself where you want to be. You can position yourself here, but it's kind of aggressive, and I don't personally recommend it. But that is a spot. You can position yourself in Wishbone. It's safe, but at the same time, it's kind of not, because you'd have to solely rely on your arrow aim, and with everyone moving, trying to dodge spam, it can kind of suck. So the main spot that I like to be on E is here. I know it seems counterintuitive, but because Sniper's here, but if your team like holds and gets people out of D, you should never be hit with a Sniper sightline ever. And so the only thing you really need to look out for is Spy, and you're here with all this view, so the only spot that you really need to watch for decloak is there. So it's kind of easy. So yeah, you're just over here and you're taking your team as they cap the point. And that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, A to E. I didn't talk about A to E. So yeah, when your team caps A, you can immediately just position yourself here. Just tank your heavy and take your players here. When your team's going aggressive into Wishbone, you can like follow them all the way here. But your main job is to just stay here and heal the combo. Just watch for spies, of course. And heal your player, like your scout or your pyro, or no, your scout and your soldier, just capping E. And that's pretty much it. Another funny thing that you can do is you can run crits and do a funny thing where you can go around the entirety of the point and then drop down here and then like drop down to hell and then go up here, and then as your team is capping you can just go in and use crits and kill everyone. But that's only if the spy's dead and if no one bothers to check here. If anyone sees what you're doing, you're kind of screwed. But so if the enemy team is totally oblivious to your A to E push, then you can try that, but not recommended. But it's funny, I've used it before, but still, not recommended. A to E's are really hard on this map, so if you need a Hail Mary, go for it. If not, it's best to just go through all the maps, or all the other points one by one, because it's just simpler and easier to do. And counterintuitively, it takes more time to A to E because of how long the stuff goes. But that's pretty much it. Nothing else to talk about. Okay, so this is week 7 right now in the season 24 as of now. I might do other miscellaneous maps during the off season or stuff like that. This is gonna be my last video for map reviews for a little while. I'm taking a break, but they will be back. I'll probably come back with like product or vigil or something. Depends on how I feel. And yeah, that's it. Yeah, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.